It's the first time I've had a podcast where somebody's like my size.
Might be a little bit shorter.
That never happened. So anyway, you can tell we're having some fun at TRCMA 2025. It has been a day and a half. We still got half of this day left to go. And Tony from the Buff and Shine crew, we had Justin and Sydney. So we grabbed the second best one because we know Sydney's the best. So
fair enough. That's true. No one
as a disclaimer, Justin, I just want you to know that Jody's the one that said that. So later on, if you need to pinch somebody's
beat the
head,
crap out of me.
it's Jody. So fun day.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. We showcased all our pads, and then we talked about the number one question we get all the time from detailers is how to pair pads and products.
Yes.
So that's something we kind of highlighted. We tried to separate the liquid products into categories and then pair our various pads up into those categories, just to try and make it easier for people to know where to start.
Yeah.
Because you see so many pads and so many products, and the new guy especially is just
overwhelmed.
Yeah. So you guys have rolled out the edge guards. You got the 3s and the 5s.
3, 5s, and 6. Yep. And so that's kind of a unique product in the market. Everybody has polishing pads, and everybody has pads with a flat back with just Velcro, right? So something that we have is now a product called Edge Guard that has a plastic ring on the back of the pad that it does several things, right? The primary thing, and hence the edge guard name, is it guards the edge of the backing plate of the machine from making contact, or if it does make contact, from damaging portions of the car.
Yep.
Right.
I especially love them in the 3-inch size because that's when you're trying to sneak the 3-inch polisher into a bumper or underneath a mirror or around a door handle or somewhere that's a tight space.
Yeah.
And so the edge guard protects the backing plate of the machine from making contact and damaging anything.
So no more pigtails.
Yes. Right. Well, or at least no more scratches that you've installed during that process. I'm going to open this up so we can look at it better. But several of the other things it does is it provides you something to also grab onto when you're pulling it off the machine.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
And centering too. Centering is a big thing.
Centering it too, almost, especially with the 3-inch, all the 3-inch backing plates are pretty universal across polishers. So they fit perfectly in here. I mean, centering is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Which even that's kind of difficult for a new detail.
It is. Is it just 3, 5s, and 6s, or do you have other sizes?
Just 3, 5s, and 6 for the edge guard. So you can see there, it literally has a little plastic ring that's built into the foam and integrated in with the Velcro. And so,
cool. And it's not. This isn't just something that's glued on. I was with Justin Lobato in Ohio a week ago.
Yeah.
And these aren't just like glued on. Like literally, you're going to destroy your backing plate before you pull that edge guard off of the pad. It is not a small feat that this thing is. I don't know how thermo adhered or something to the hook and loop material. So it literally will. Man, he was really putting some effort in pulling that thing off, and it doesn't damage it at all.
Kind of an interesting little fact about this is this. You guys can see it. I mean, obviously on camera we might be able to catch it, but there's little dimples in here.
I didn't notice that.
This plastic ring is smooth before it's adhered to the pad. So those dimples are actually from the little heating elements that Rich, uses in the machine that he made to, like you said, thermo.
See if you can actually get those there.
The material underneath, so it actually imprints those little tiny dimples. I can see it on the camera.
Yeah, that's cool.
It actually stamps those in as it heats correctly. So it's kind of funny because, he explained this process to me, and very, very early batches had a few where the ring didn't adhere correctly because he was still kind of working the kinks out of the machine, and you can literally see where the ring is still smooth, so it didn't bond right. But yeah, so
that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of really cool, and I mean, something about Buff and Shine. So Rich Umbrell started the company over 30 years ago, making twisted wool pads for his brother's detail company. That were getting used on boats and in body shops and things like that. And now, flash forward to now, it's still family family owned, still family run. It's him, his wife, and his son. It's a small, like 20-man operation, and everything is end-to-end manufactured in California.
That's cool.
It's really nice.
That's really cool.
And I just came out in January as sales, and I expected this to be imported from there and that to be imported from here. And when he told me no, it's American manufacturers that make the foam, buys it in huge, king-size bed sheets, and then chops it up into pads.
Wow, that's amazing.
The thing that I thought was interesting is when you think about it, the way the foam is created, it's a recipe. There's a precise recipe to make this. This is a finishing pad, so it's very, very soft. But the precise recipe for this pad is a specific. It's a recipe, and then the cooking of it, if you will, or the baking, causes the little holes inside of the foam.
Yeah, it's actually like an explosion process. They put it in a chamber, and they, it fills it with gas, and then they ignite the gas, I think. And I don't know, Rich can tell you all about it. It's amazing. He's like the foam whisperer. But it's a process where they literally explode the foam from the inside out, and it creates all those open cells.
That's where you get open cells from the little explosions. It causes the little, they're not microscopic, but you're not going to see them on the camera. Little open cell pieces, and so then it's just a different recipe with different materials to make a heavier cut foam or a polishing foam. And so that was kind of the interesting thing. The other thing is that all foams are not created equal. So big thing, no matter what you're using, the yellow foam for Buff and Shine is not necessarily the yellow foam for somebody else. So you can't go off of the color alone unless you're using one product. So I know that with the Buff and Shine stuff, the maroon, which is one of the most popular ones, is a very, very, very dense foam.
Yes.
It's a heavy cut foam. And then you go with the blueberry, which everybody loves the blueberry if you're doing a one step, and then yellow, and then the white.
Yep.
So that is just specific to Buff and Shine. Keep that in mind. And one of the coolest things about Buff and Shine is the box you guys have. And it's not because it's just packaged one of everything. It's because it actually gives you all that information. So if you're early on in your detailing career, when you buy those Reflection Artist kits, it gives you all the information. You just don't even, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's got I don't think it's a microfiber. It's got a Euro wool.
It's got a wool, and it does have a finishing microfiber in it. And then three basically most popular foams.
Yep. And so that's a really good starter kit because it actually, like I said, gives you all that information, but it actually gives you one of each, and you can go out and test them and do stuff. So what else is new from the Buff and Shine family?
Well, kind of like, piggybacking on that about the Reflection Artist kit and what it shows on the packaging, we've sort of adopted that across all of the lines.
Yeah.
So now, whether you grab an EdgeGuard or standard Eurocell foam pads or Eurotech foam pads, all of the packaging now shows all of the options available for that line.
So this is the wool, and this is what I was talking about there. Yeah. This is the wool, and it gives you a real breakdown of what it is and which one's kind of the heavy cut down to the lighter cut,
the softer stuff. And that's a particularly interesting one on the wool because several of these pads don't have a foam interface on them. So they can be, they're more ideal almost to use on a rotary machine. They can be used on anything, but they work really, really well on a rotary. And so this one actually separates the products into these categories for you. So if you hang on to at least one bag, you can remember, you got a little cheat sheet. You got a cheat sheet, exactly. All the part numbers, all their use cases, and then even what machines they
Dude, that's cool.
And then you brought up a really interesting point. On the Buff and Shine stuff, the foam interface pads follow the same rigidity, if you will. So you can have a microfiber pad or a wool pad with a foam interface, and if you feel that foam, you can tell that one is denser than the other. Yep. One's dark blue, one's light blue, but it actually gives you a little more dense foam interface if you want a little heavier cut. And obviously, just like the foam pads, the softer the interface, the less cut you're going to get. It's really nice if you're trying to do something and you're never 100% safe, right? You're going in and you're really, when we're polishing, let's face it, we're making a lot of damage, less damage.
Yeah, you're removing material.
But you're less likely to cause a problem if you've got that interface pad. It's just like sanding. If you've got a foam interface pad, you're less likely to cut through. But with these guys have really engineered these. And that's what I love about the Buff and Shine line of products is on the back of it. It gives you all the part number and what its uses are. It'll tell you heavy cut. It'll tell you light polish. It'll tell you heavy polish. On the pad itself.
Yeah, right on the back of the pad.
So this one right here,
Camera
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one says polishing, so this one's got the polishing right on there. That this is a
That's
polishing
awesome.
pad.
Yeah.
Gives you the part number if you want to order another one, and that's what's really cool about it is they really do go. You guys kind of go out of your way to help it make it easy, right?
Exactly. We're simplifying it. I remember several years ago, me starting, I'm buying pads online. I don't really know what I'm buying. I don't really know what I'm after. And then I forget, I didn't, that back then I didn't know the trick that you actually like rub the pad on your lips or on your cheek and like you can feel how soft it is because our fingers don't really feel the difference as well.
Yeah.
But here I am at my shop like rubbing a pad on my face to try and remember if it's aggressive or not.
And that's when the men came with the white jacket.
Yes.
He's in there. You say,
They took
and they're
me
like,
away.
Tony, you can love your pads, just don't
Don't
love your
Yeah.
pads.
That's
But it
so
did.
true.
It worked as a resume to go to work for Buff and Shine.
Yes. But now we've taken all that guesswork out.
That's
we
good.
just make it end to end simple. No matter if you're brand new at this or if you're running a complex shop with employees. It's end to end.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I really do. Some of the misconceptions about pads. Microfiber is extremely soft, so your brain tells you this is less aggressive than wool, and that is not the case. The most aggressive pad is a microfiber pad.
Yeah.
So just make sure that it's like anything. You're supposed to read the instructions. Most of us don't. With these, you really need to read the instructions because, if you want to have some fun, take a hood and take a microfiber and try to burn through, and then take a foam pad and try to burn through, and you'll see
Big
a big difference there.
Oh yeah, big time. It's funny because, like you said, on paper, microfiber is always the most aggressive. Wool is your next step down, and foam is your step down from that. Now, almost unfortunately, we have so many pads that cover such a wide spectrum. You can get really, really soft microfibers, and we also have really aggressive foam pads. So there's definitely more overlap now than there used to be. But that still is a good rule of thumb. Like microfiber is always just going to just be more aggressive.
Yeah. That maroon foam. The thing I like about it is when you first get it out of the box, it's extremely rigid. You feel like, oh my god! But once you put some product on it and start using it and get a little heat into it, it does soften up. But it is a really good pad. It's on the aggressive side.
It is.
So I don't even like starting with the blue. I like starting with the yellow because we always want to start with the least aggressive. So it's like start with a yellow pad and some compound and see what it's going to do. And if it gets you the results you want,
right.
You can. And if it doesn't, you can move up or down.
Go up or down from there,
Yeah,
pad or pad.
So remember, Tony said always start with microfiber,
That's
rotary, push down as hard as you can.
Just burn.
Get those
from the
Get those scratches out.
Just like racing.
Why are
If you're
you
not
wasting
burning, you're
time,
not
man?
polishing,
Yeah,
right?
what are we doing here? We're not making it pretty.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. It's exciting to see you wearing the blue and black shirt,
Thank you.
with Justin and of course Sydney. And man, you guys did a phenomenal job. I was watching it, and so it's exciting to see you be part of the team. So,
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really enjoying it. And then, reach out to us on Buff and Shine's, Instagram or on my Instagram, Buff and Tony.
Buff and Tony.
If you have pad questions, give me a holler.
It sounds like some kind of an Italian restaurant. Hey,
Well,
go on down to the Buff and the Tony's.
Yeah. Buff Tony was taken, and I thought it might not really apply anyway. So
Buff Tony.
and Tony is,
Yeah. Surprisingly, Fat Rod was available. So,
well,
so
if you want to follow Rod, it's the Fat Rod.
If the shoe fits,
So, anyway, you can tell we're having a good time. So we'll have a couple more. Rod's bouncing out.
I got
for
to
the rest
bounce.
of the
I've got
day,
a
so-
business opportunity that I need to attend to.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, we will check you guys in a little bit. Thank you as always for tapping in. Please remember to go out there and subscribe so that you get notified of everything, and go check out the YouTube live because they have some
they've got
amazing guests. I
some
can't
other
see
stuff
from
going
there,
on.
but anyway.
And we'll be here the rest of the week. Actually, it's just Wednesday and Thursday.
Tomorrow we
Tomorrow
will be
is
live
our
at
day.
11:20. So make sure you tune in there because
Start tuning in at 9:00 because Jody and I have a crime spree already planned out for the morning show. So tune in because
it's
we're
supposed
gonna
to be
shh, it's okay.
You
We're gonna
can't
try
tell
to get
this guy
kicked out.
nothing.
We're gonna try to get kicked out. Just tune in.